I'm not always a fan of time. 7 days in a week, 12 months in a year, 60 seconds in a minute, 1,000 yoctoseconds in a zeptosecond. And then, Planck time. The shortest tick the universe might allow. Below this scale, our current physics breaks down. Time may no longer even make sense. So who decided this rhythm? The cosmos, or us? Is time fundamental, or is it something that emerges? A rule of causality? A step in a simulation? Our bodies know time, but not by the clock. Cells divide, hearts beat, circadian rhythms rise and fall with light, food, temperature, and silence. As children, summers stretch like forever. As adults, years collapse into calendar grids. Why does the same hour feel infinite, or gone in a blink? There are days I feel trapped by time, like it's a cage, a loop, a program I didn't write, repetition, deadlines, alarms. So what is this thing we call time? We build clocks to synchronize, calendars to agree, but no one actually lives time that way. Time isn't just measured, it's felt. You don't feel 60 seconds, you feel a kiss, a silence, an absence, a goodbye. Physics treats time differently. Einstein showed us how gravity bends time. He described a block universe where every moment already exists. Then came causal time. No flowing river, just links, events causing other events, like a program running line by line. But neither picture matches how we live. We don't experience frozen blocks or digital steps. We live in something warmer, stranger. Sometimes I wonder, how does my dog feel time? How about a mushroom? We live together. We breathe the same air. But do we move through the same time? I don't think so. And this is where something shifted for me, because what we call time is really the shape of becoming. It's not universal, it's not ticking everywhere the same. It's local, situated, contextual. Time is a pattern, a rhythm of transformation within the web of relations itself. The forest doesn't live in the same time as the mycelium beneath it. The crow's quick flickers, faster than the slow dreaming of the roots. There's no absolute clock, no master timeline, only evolving patterns of rhythm, whose stability feels like time. When the pattern shifts, we call it change. When it intensifies, we say time speeds up. When it holds steady, we feel it slow down. When it reflects itself, we call it déjà vu. That's why time feels so different. In grief, in boredom, in wonder, in love. Because it is different. Your body and your mind don't always agree. You can feel ancient in a minute, or newborn at 70. This isn't just poetry, it's structure, not things moving through time, but relations transforming into other relations. And it's the pattern of that change that gives us the sense of before and after. Within the pattern itself, there's no master clock, no global simulation step. Time arises from local transformation, from relational tension, from how the web of being folds and unfolds. Instead of events causing events, relations transform other relations. And that rhythm, that difference, creates the sense of time. Not a block, not a sequence, a living field, with gradients of change. Some areas are stable, some are chaotic, some are so slow they seem eternal. Time is not a container we move through. It's what emerges when meaning, material, and form begin to change. When I was younger, I thought time was something I had to manage, to win, to lose, to waste, to master. But now, I'm not so sure. Is time something we move through, or something we make sense of after the fact? Neuroscientists say our brains compress time like a spiral. Each memory squished closer the further back it goes. Maybe that's why the first time feels so large, and the hundredth so small. We don't experience time as it is. We feel it through meaning. My dog doesn't count days, but he senses when I'm leaving. A mushroom doesn't wear a watch, but it knows when to bloom. Every being has its own rhythm, its own relation to change, and what feels like a timeline might actually be a web of pattern becoming. And the years you lived, they weren't lined up like a string. They were stacked, folded, nested. Your childhood isn't behind you, it's inside you, Some say each year feels shorter because it's a smaller fraction of your life. But that's not just math, it's relational compression. As our internal web stabilizes, our field of transformation doesn't branch as often. Fewer new connections, fewer surprises, so the felt density of becoming decreases. It's like walking through a forest. The first time, every tree is new. Every sound feels alive, time stretches. But walk the same trail 100 times, and the forest feels shorter. Even if the path is the same, your relation to it has changed. Time folds when the web of difference narrows. It's not a law, it's a texture, a relational pattern. So when someone says, life speeds up as you get older, what they might really mean is, my forest is too familiar. And maybe that's not a failure, but an invitation to wander off trail again, to grow new edges in the web, to rewild your time. Time doesn't begin, it condenses from formless potential into unfolding form. Time isn't just passing, it's responding to me, to us, to how we relate, of course. Some things don't change just because we feel differently. Planets orbit, particles decay, light moves at the same speed, and physics depends on this consistency. I'm not denying the measurable flow. I'm asking where that flow comes from and what it means to travel through it. To go back would mean undoing the whole web, reversing all changes in all relations, not just memory, but every entanglement. That's not impossible, but it's not simple. There's no independent past to jump into. The past isn't stored somewhere. It's encoded in the structure of the present, like the rings of a tree, like the folds of your skin. Time travel isn't a door, it's a reconfiguration of the whole field. Not with a machine, not with a wormhole, not with a flux capacitor. If time travel is possible at all, it will come through deep relational symmetry. A return not to what was, but to a resonance of what still lives in the now. So maybe the real question is, what echoes of the past still shape this moment? And how do I relate to them differently? Because even if time moves forward, relation always loops. And in that loop, there's a kind of return. We dream of childhood homes, even if we never truly had one. We long for the past, not because it was perfect, but because it felt like we belonged. Why? Maybe because return is built into the structure of being. Every complex pattern carries echoes of its source. The origin point isn't gone, it's present in every fold. Every entanglement, like gravity pulls things to the center, there's a relational gravity pulling us toward origin, toward stillness, toward union. That's why in death, so many traditions speak of return to the source, to the stars, to God, to nothing. It's not just myth, it's structure. Even in physics, the arrow of time comes from a beginning of profound simplicity. And maybe the deepest part of us remembers that, not as memory, but as resonance, as longing to be whole again, not to erase who we've become, but to fold it back into the infinite. So when you feel the pull to return to somewhere, to someone, to some time, it's not weakness, it's the field calling itself home. Every path forward is also a path back, because the web is never a straight line. It loops, it breathes, it remembers, and that's what time was always for. I'm not always a fan of time. 7 days in a week, 12 months in a year, 60 seconds in a minute,